Hey everyone, this is going to be another Explaining the Meta episode. In this one, I wanted to touch on something that a lot of people use different names for, and it really makes an impact on whether you win or lose a duel. I mean, a lot. And you can call it anything. You can call it like forecasting. I don't know. Like, there's a bunch of names for it. Basically, it's being able to predict your opponent's moves before they do it, like knowing what they're going to do and then doing stuff to stop it. Um, like I said, there's a lot of different names for it. I mean, I've heard like 30 different names. It's retarded. They're like, oh yeah, I was able to telecast. I think is what he said. What you were going to do. I'm like, telecast? What? And I guess they meant forecast, but like I don't know. Whatever. You know what this is. When you know your opponent's going to do something, like I'll give you an example. When I was playing at the Shonen Jump, Anaheim, I was playing a Frog Monarch dude. He went Special Summon Treeborn and remove a card from his hand. He had two left in hand. I went, okay. Or he had three left in hand. I'm like, okay. He's like, discard a card to Special Summon um, his Fishboard. I'm like, okay. So he had one card. He had one card left in hand. And I'm like, why would he waste that? If it was just a Monarch, he would just normal summon. He would just Special Summon the Treeborn, then Tribute Summon. If it takes two tributes, there's only one tribute that I know that they run. So I went, activate Mind Crush, declare Lad, Light and Darkness Dragon, and like he flipped, like he lost it, like he was mad, dude. He just couldn't believe I called that, and it's because I knew, like I thought about what he was doing, and then I saw what he was going to try and do. I'm like, oh, I see what you're trying to do, trying to bring back two monsters to go double tribute Light and Darkness Dragon, and I called it, so I Mind Crushed Lad, and I got Lad, um, and he got mad. But anyways, that's what I'm talking about, and the easiest ways to do this, like there's a lot of stupid ways that you can tell when people do this. Like say you kill a Sangan and they search a, I don't know, say they search a level eater, and say you know that they're gonna have a drill warrior come back next turn. You know they're gonna go, drill, pitch, blah 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 level that crap. You know that's gonna happen. So you do something to stop it. Like I don't know. There's a lot of ways to do it. I mean, like one of the easiest ways to do it is Mind Crush. It's a broken card. Like when you know they're gonna start trying to do a play on you that requires certain cards in the hand, Mind Crush. Like when you're playing a Lightsworn player. I've done this before. I think everyone's done this before. You're playing a Lightsworn player. They're looking at their field. They're going, okay, okay. Tribute for Celestia. You're like Solemn Warning. They're like, damn. Okay. I'd say Foolish Burial. And then they send like Garoth. Not a wolf, they send Garoth. You're like, okay, hold on a second. You check their graveyard. That's exactly the fourth name. You have a Mind Crush. I know what I would do. Mind Crush Judgment Dragon. Right there. Not a minute of hesitation. Because I'd rather lose one card out of my hand if I'm wrong and see their hand than have them play GD and nuke my entire field. And I think every other player here is the same. It's just like when you see that fourth one hit the grave and you realize they only have one card in hand or like two cards, you're like, this ain't happening. Mind Crush the JD. Or, you may see this coming, so you're like, okay, so you're gonna play JD. What can I do to stop that? Activate DD Crow from hand. Remove one of your monsters. Like these are things you can see coming and you can use cards to prevent them. Tech cards. That's where tech plays in. See, the first video is tech, this one is, yeah. So, being able to forecast your opponent's moves and then play your cards accordingly, knowing what they're going to do, can just like decimate your opponent. Like they can be like, how did you know I was going to do that? That messes up my entire strategy, blah, 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 blah. And honestly, I've done that, It's really easy to do with Lightsworn because I ran Lightsworn for a good 3-4 months, maybe 5. I ran Lightsworn for a long time, so I knew how the deck worked, like in and out. So when I play against a Lightsworn and he's doing odd combos, I'm like, why would he do that? Wait, why would I do that? I would only do that if I had this, this, and this. Mind Crush. That's just how it is. And like I said, I honestly think that people don't understand that this is how the pros win. Not only are they conservative, but they look at their opponent and go, what does he have? What does he have? That's why if you ever watch the top tables, the enemy, like the opponents, are always checking each other's grave because they always need to know what their opponent's going to do next. What could they do next? What could they do next? Because that will decide the game. If you know what they're going to do next and you can stop it and shut it down, you will win. That is how this game goes. And that's why I love my gadget deck. It's built to stop and shut down almost any play you can do. Now, is it hard? Of course. It takes, you have to learn, what the decks do, what the plays are. I mean, you can't just do it right off the bat and pick it up like nothing. It just doesn't work that way. It takes a long time to learn, not only your deck, but your opponent's deck. Because you can verse any kind of deck. You can verse X-Sabers, you can verse Samurai. Like, say you go to a big event. Say you study Samurai, like a Gemini variant, whatever, and Debris Synchro. Say you study those three. Like, you know them in and out. You know how to stop every play they do. Any play they do. You know how to stop it. What do you do if you verse a Worm deck? It happened to me. It happened to me at Locals Thursday. I lost to a Worm deck. I was like, what is this? What the hell is this? Worms? I wasn't prepared for it. And because I wasn't prepared for it, I lost to it. Just because I didn't know how to stop the deck. I mean, now that I know how it works, I was like, oh man, I should have played that card and that card and that card. I could have stopped his combo really easy. But I didn't realize that at the time because I didn't know how the combo worked. I mean, let's say you study those three decks and you play an X-Saber deck. You're like, oh crap, I didn't study for that. What do I do? You don't know what to do anymore. And that's just one of the big things in this game. You have to know how each deck works and how to stop it. Because once you know how to stop it, you can completely start. You'll be on a different tier than you were. Trust me. That's what usually separates top 32 people from like all the rest of the people who scrub out. Is those people can predict, what's going to happen. They can stop it, and they've got the tech to do it. So this has been episode 3, and it's on, forecasting your opponent's plays, or whatever word you want to use. I don't care what you use. I've heard so many stupid words used for this, it's not even funny. Like telecasting. How does that even... no, I don't even want to know. Never mind. I'm going to end this before it becomes a rant. Have a nice day. This is the Gadget Guru.